All right, without further ado, let's get into another episode of Interviews with the Foreign Magazine, where we like to take the time out to go beyond the veil, go beyond the surface, and just talk and build with, man, some of the most influential people in the city, what they got going on, they moves and everything, man. And today we got a special guest, man. We got Big Jungle in the building. What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
What's that word, man? Can't complain. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Like we was just briefly talking about earlier, man, it's been a hell of a year for you. Dropping music consistently. We was just talking about the record that you just dropped yesterday and the level of versatility that you've been showing, through your platform and just your catalog in general. This year, man, how has it been feeling? What's been the vibes of the year? You've been working and putting in a lot of work for quite some time now. But in 2024, what is it like for Jungle and just your entire career?
See, 2024, I wanted to slow down a little bit. Not slow down as far as the momentum, because it's hard to pick that back up. But as far as slow down and just be more strategic with every move that I make. You know what I mean? So I didn't drop no project this year at all. I dropped 5 singles. So, and each single I just push throughout the year. So I've been just pushing these 5 singles, and really with Swap Lives being the 5th single. So all the way up until now, I only dropped 4 songs and just been pushing that and just still taking Zodiac to where it need to go too, because I feel like that song ain't all the way where it need to be. That song is obviously my biggest song.
Yeah.
And I feel like it still got enough. Still got more in the tank. So I believe in not just drop in, just go on to the next thing before I squeeze everything out of every opportunity. Because you have moments in this shit. So, and with every moment, you got to take advantage of it. Each one. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You don't want to have a moment and then just be so in a rush to have another one that you don't take advantage of that one. You know what I mean? So, I'm still pushing Zodiac. Last year, I was fresh on tour, obviously with Sada. This year, so I was piggybacking off of that. Then this year, I probably didn't touch the most money I've ever did off of music. So it's like, but that's how I grade myself with this as far as my career wise. I grade myself. I give myself each year to do something I didn't do last year. You know what I mean? And that's how I keep up with my progress. And that's how I know that I'm moving forward. Like the last 3-4 years, I have yet to take a step back. You know what I mean? I have been elevating each year from, Zodiac to Honey Pack to tour to, as far as now I'm making ends meet. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
One of my favorite records, man, is Booyah. You know what I mean?
Oh,
with
yeah,
you
with
and Polo Frost,
yeah,
man.
that's my boy.
I honestly felt like that was the one. Just the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one thing that you always do is keep the ladies in the videos. You good at highlighting, the party scenes, and just, when you listen to your music, man, you could just really have a good time, and you do a good job at visualizing it. You know what I mean? With that record, man, what you think is the reason? Maybe, like, for me, I think it's DJs. And that's not a slight shout out to all of the DJs. I just feel like them hit records that we have in Detroit that's like really club bangers, I just don't feel like it get the just due. And I feel like that was one of them. If you was able to say what's the reason why that one, along with maybe like some of the other records that you got, probably haven't went through the roof, what would you say that is?
Well, specifically with that record, that's not actually my record. That's Frost's record. So Polo Frost, I'm just featured on there. So that's what that one was about.
Yeah.
That's his song. But as far as the other songs that I do have, because I do have songs that I feel like should have took off, at least in the club. Cause I got, especially cause that's the type of music I make. I make a lot of music that's, you know, veered towards the club. So, I feel like I ain't gonna blame the DJs though, because I feel like it's the artist's job to get your shit to the club and get them DJs these songs, because that's what I did with Zodiac. In all honesty, like that was the first time I ever did it, and it worked. Like that was my marketing thing that I did with Zodiac. I went to every club, every DJ. I'm talking about. I'm just typing in DJ on my Instagram, and I'm DMing them. Where you gonna be tonight? I'm gonna pull up. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Tapping in with every DJ I can and just pulling up on them, buy them a couple drinks, give them my record, throw them some. You want something to play it? Some of them be like, "Nah, you good." Some of them be like, "Yeah, just throw me something," and I throw them something, buy them a drink, buy them some food. That type of, like, I feel like that type of work right there is slept on because of social media. Everybody just think you just gotta go everything through social media around. Like social media is great, and we're blessed to have that platform to help us elevate faster. But it kind of handicap a lot of artists. You know what I mean? As far as they forget that you got to still get out here, put in the
Touch the
leg work.
people, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And actually network. You know what I'm saying? Face to face and get hands on with everything for real. Like, especially with these DJs. These DJs is not robots. These DJs not programmed. You know, them like some of the rare things in music that we still have from way back then. You know what I'm saying? When it first started with DJs and shit like that. So we still got DJs and they moving off of social media. They get all they working everything off of social media. They doing what they do in the clubs and actual scenes. So you gotta actually go rub hands, rub shoulders with them. You know what I'm saying? And actually tap in with these DJs for real, cause they out here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much. I can honestly say I built a lot of great relationships with DJs. So when everybody be hearing Zodiac get played everywhere or one of my songs, I was in the club one time and it was a DJ in there. I don't know if she knew I was in there or not.
Right.
But she was playing all my stuff. Like, I'm talking about old stuff. And I'm just like, what the? I'm like, I ain't never even heard this.
Here. She don't even know I'm here, probably.
I'm like, dang. But that's what I mean. Like, my relationship. And when I end up tapping in with her, she was like, man, I mess with you. Like, for real. Like, I messed your grind. You know, and I just have a good, and I built that relationship with her. Like, oh, tap in, we got a number, everything, and just kept that relationship. But that's why I make sure that I do as far as DJs. Like, you gotta have a relationships with the DJ. So I put it on the artists for real. They gotta get out here.
That's a good point. I'm glad that you did say that. I think a lot of times people don't understand the business of it, man. With the DJs, you said it best. They not robots, you know, and this is how they make their livelihood. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, this ain't, of course, that I'm sure DJs show love, and I'm sure that they, you know, spin records for songs that they may feel is the one, you know what I mean? Hence why they call it breaking records, you know what I mean? However, it is important to, you know, rub shoulders, tap in, and really build that relationship. Like you say, get them a drink, you know, just show love in that type of way, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
If we can, man, let's rewind back, man. Let's go to the origin, man. If you can, just so we can get to know you. I think a part of it is the music, but I also think a large part of it is the personality, the story, you know what I mean, where you come from and all of that. So if you can, let us know where you come from and what was life like in the city for you coming up.
Well, I'm from Puritan, west side of Detroit. I'm the youngest of 8. We all got the same mama. My one brother that I did share a dad with, I grew up with. And basically, throughout my whole childhood, I watched him. Like, me and him was like separate. We was a lot of the same, but we separate. Like, I mean, we opposite for real. But we got like similarities, but we opposite for real. Like, he was getting in trouble every day, you know, getting kicked out of school, just getting in trouble a lot, man. And for whatever reason, I don't know what reason it was, I didn't want that route for me, you know what I mean? So I was just blessed with wisdom and understand it, because it's like I never had like guidance. I ain't gonna say like, cause I didn't grow up with my dad or my mom. I grew up with my grandma, and you know she older. She ain't chasing no young kids around. So we really was doing whatever
Yeah.
we needed to do. She made sure we was fed and had a roof over our head. So I'm grateful for my grandma. But as far as like discipline and knowing certain shit, I didn't know how to take care of myself. I'm walking around stanking, just move out in the streets, just moving around. You know what I'm saying? I had no structure growing up as a kid. But for whatever reason, watching my big brother just do all this, and then just certain things I just veered away from when everybody else was doing it. And that's what I feel like make me different, period. As far as even now, I'm not afraid to be different. I'm not afraid to. I never ever ever was a people's pleaser. Like, you know, I never was easily peer pressured into nothing. I always think for myself. So even then, when everybody was going taking that route, I wanted to take this route. So growing up, I went to Mumford High School, my ninth grade year, and I just wasn't going to class or nothing. I was just literally in there flying colors, and they was in the transition of fixing the school. So a lot of the teachers wasn't even there anyway, just substitutes. So I'm in the gym every day, ain't going to school, whatever. And I'm in class, and I just end up passing. I end up passing like flying colors. And this is the reality check. When I passed the class, and then I had I had like, it was like a Spanish 2 class or whatever. And I ain't remember taking Spanish 1. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, I don't know none of this. They like, you supposed to know all this. You already took the first class. I'm like, and that's when I realized, like, bro, I'm just literally just getting by, bro. Like, it did a lot of the trouble that was going on around me. I'm just like, bro, it's too much going on. But one thing about it, I got a big family. So my cousins, I always used to go to my cousins' house. They from the burbs. So I go with them, and I just see a different side. And that's probably the reason why I had the thinking that I had. Because I got outside the city more. You know what I mean? And I actually seen that it was a different lifestyle other than just the city, and in the way, you know, what it is going on there. So eventually, my 10th grade year, I ended up asking my auntie, can I move with my cousins out there with them? And she was down with it. Ooh. And what's crazy is my pops didn't even want to let me go for real. He said some crazy shit to me. But ended up convincing them. And I moved out there, and that shit really changed my life for real. It gave me a different perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? Watching my auntie and my uncle, they married. Watching them, she gave me structure. You know what I mean? Like discipline, like having rules for once in my life. You know what I mean? Where I got to do certain things, or it's gonna be consequences. You know what I'm saying? I never had that, so that shit really changed my life and altered it for the better. So, then I graduated, started doing music for real. I was going to college, like a community college, but I was recording. That's why I met my engineer to this day, Rose, and we was recording in the dorm. He coming to the dorm room, we recording there. But I always rap. Like, I always had this composition book of just raps. Like, my brothers used to call me in the room with the family, rap for them, show them how you rap. And I'm young as hell rapping. They like, oh, this little nigga cold.
What was some of your early influences, like when you first picked up the pen and started writing?
BET. I used to rap. I used to watch those ciphers on BET. Steal they raps, take them to school like they was mine. Then, you know, Lil Wayne, heavy on Lil Wayne. I always wanted to, the bars and stuff like that he had, because I really started out just on some conscious rap shit. For real. Hitting back to the fact that when people would be surprised that I actually can rap. That's how I was really rapping at first. I was rapping on some conscious bars, real deep, like just rap. You know what I'm saying? Then I dumbed it down for real because of the style, and the I feel like people attention span is different now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So my crowd that I was the attention that I wanted from certain crowd, I had to dumb it down a little bit. You know what I mean? So and when I say dumb it down, it's not like a bad way. I mean, just music is just that. You know what I'm saying? sometimes you can complicate things. You can complicate music. You know what I mean? Like some music is simple for real.
100%.
So I dumbed it down, whatever, changed my style. Cause I came out at first as Wanye. Somebody in the city saw my name for real. I never heard of them again, anyways. Too. But I'm glad they. Excuse me, man. I'm glad they did that though, because it made me rebrand myself. So I was out for like a year, and then I ended up rebranding myself to Big Jungle. But I rebranded myself. Ever since I rebranded myself, I've been on the incline. Like, first Homer Simpson, I had dropped the song Homer Simpson, and that's why I was saying too earlier when we was talking off camera. A lot of my moments that I had that were people notice who I was, it was off of my rap moments. You know what I mean? A lot of people know me for my performances and acting wild and doing what I do, but my moments that I had that actually built my page up and built my name, the cloud around my name, is the rap. So when I dropped Homer Simpson, it was a bar in there where I had like, I want to hit mulatto. I mean, a lotto. And that bar went viral, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people follow me off of that. A lot of people show love off that. Same thing when I did a one mic. A lot of people know Cash Down, the song called Cash Down, and where I was just rapping in the street doing a one mic, and that went viral. Like, and that built but a lot of my rap moments is what made me, build a lot of. Cause I feel like what I do, when I perform and how I get and what I be doing, a lot of people probably wouldn't even respect it as much as they do if I could not rap. You know
that's
what I mean?
a fact.
They would call it gimmicky.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And they would get old at some point. You know what I mean? Even if they did like it, it'll probably get old at some point. But because I have the rap with it, I can actually rap with it. So I feel like it make it a different element. Like it turns it into something else, like where people actually respect my craft as an artist.
So we got some history, man. The first artist to be in both studios, man, in the same interview type shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, man, one thing that I did just to kind of get back to where we was at that stood out to me, bro, in terms of your performance style, I think that's important. Like, bro, what made you start? Like, where does the energy come from, bro? Like, one thing that I'm critical about with Detroit artists is that you have a lot of people that can rap, but you don't have a lot of people that can perform. When it comes to the performance side, next to Sada and Snapdog, bro, it's like y'all three, like pretty much. Yeah. Where do you get that from? What's your inspiration, and how did that whole thing begin for you?
It's honestly a natural thing. I just embedded my energy into like everything I do, like artistry wise, like it's just really my personality. And everybody that know me know I'm like a goofy, energetic person. So when I first started performing, I was always just energetic already. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to wow people. Like, so I was just energetic as hell. But as it went on, I started doing things to just make, random things to make somebody remember me. That's all I wanted to do. So like, it started off like that, like showcase wise. I was doing showcases, and I just do random things for people to remember me. Like one time I had a pocket full of pennies, and just took them out of my pocket and just throw them in the air. Like people like, what? I had a piece of chicken in my pocket one time. I took it out, bit it, dude. I had a box of cereal one time. Busted on the crowd. Everybody was mad as fuck. But then they had to fuck with it. They wanted to beat me up at first, but I was like, man, I fuck with dog. He going crazy.
Straight up.
But I just was doing random shit, and I just had to top my last performance, and that was my thing. And I'm not gonna lie, like my first like time being inspired by a performance ever, where it was like I gotta perform like that at that level where the crowd is just like, wow, was my first concert I ever been to, which was a Tee Grizzley concert, and he had Sada opening up for him. And I was with my brother and his girlfriend. And my brother girlfriend, I'm like, I'm there. I'm like, I want to see Sada. You know, I'm a fan. I've been a fan of Sada. So like, I'm like, I'm here to see Sada, man. I just want to see Sada. I don't even care about T for real. Even though T was my dog, I fuck with T.
For sure.
But I'm like, man, I want her to see Sada. You know, my brother and them, they was big Tee Grizzley fans. I'm like, man. So she like, man, Sada, I heard this young, but I ain't really, you know, I ain't really no fan of Sada. I don't really like him like that. He cool, but nah. I'm like, what? Whatever. So he go out there, and when I say this boy performed so crazy to the point where like the whole crowd was just so turned. I'm talking about this nigga was losing his shit. I'm talking about tripping. Man, this nigga falling off stage. He fell off the stage, got up. The crowd gonna cry. I'm like, dog, he tweaking. But by the end of his performance, my brother girlfriend was like, no, I fuck with Sada. Like, Sada call, like, he won her over with his performance.
That stood out to you, yeah.
And that made me feel like, dude, I forever gotta perform at this level. Like, I gotta be turned. I gotta pour my energy into people to the point where it's like, I fuck with him.
Nah,
and from there on out, I just been on that type of time with my performances. Like, my energy, I just let my energy take control.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And let it do what it do.
How did the whole you know, situation work out, man, in terms of, you know, you and your relationship to Vez and IUR and just that whole connection?
Like I talked about it a little earlier where I was saying about when I post my music on these platforms, how they go up. So Vez was one of the people that tapped in on one of the ones I had. I think it was Active Famous. It might have been Active Famous that I posted, and that bitch went up, and a lot of rappers was following me or reaching out. Like, you called Tee Grizzley was like one of the first ones. You called GT, Show Love. It was a lot of rappers that show love, and Vez was one of the ones too. They followed me, tapped in like, you hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I moved to Texas. I had moved to Texas for 2 years because I feel like the motion here was kind of dying down. So I moved down there to stack my cheese and shit. And while I was down there, I had did my first showcase and down there. And it kind of rained that day. So it wasn't a lot of people there. It was probably like 10 people total there. So I'm performing, and I'm doing what I do or whatever. And I done did my shit, water bottle shit, if you watch my performances. Elbow, drop the water bottle, all that.
Straight
and my mans have recorded that shit. So I posted it on my page. And Vez DM'd, like, called me, gave me his number. And basically, long story short, he was like, we gotta lock in, bro. Like, I fuck with your shit, like, heavy. Like, I need you back in the city. Whenever you get back, tap in. I'm like, I flew back the next day.
Straight up.
But we locked in, and he basically told me, like, you hard at rapping, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, your shit fire. But nigga, the reason I had to tap in and lock in with you is because you performed in front of 10 people like you was at Rolling Loud. Like, he was like, people can't do that.
That's
like,
real.
That's a fucking gift. That's a talent. He was like, your energy is insane. For you to be able to perform like that, you know what I'm saying, no matter what type of crowd it is. And he was like, I fuck with that heavy. You a superstar, bro. I can just see it all over you, a superstar. So 100%. From there on out, we've been locked in.
100%. And I ain't gonna lie, like, that was one of the things that stood out to me too. Like, that's what caught me. You know what I mean? And then I ended up going to go, like I say, listen to the project. I forget what song it was. I think I sent it to you in your DM. And I was like, man, this is the hardest song on the project. It was a sample. But you was talking about real, and that was the moment that it hit me like, no, like, dog ain't just a performer. Like, he really gifted with it, you know what I mean? And from that moment, you know what I mean, I kind of been watching, you know, seeing everything that you got going. We're in the fourth quarter of 2024. And as you said earlier,
and not to interrupt you, but I wanna also give you your flowers as far as the love you be showing, because I do see that.
Yeah.
You always show love throughout my whole career. Always. I ain't never had to tap in and ask you to post or whatever. You would just post. You would show love. You know what I'm saying? So
Appreciate
you a real nigga for that.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Much gratitude, bro. Fourth quarter, you know, what's the plans? What's the goals? And, you know, just everything you plan on executing.
Well, I'm about to drop my first tape of the year. I plan on dropping 2. So I'm going to drop my official tape. But before I drop my official tape, I'm going to actually drop another tape that I'm doing for people that's, you know, my supporters and people that fuck with me. And they can get on this tape, just tap in with me. I'm going to do a feature. I'm going to send y'all out the verse. And it's going to be like 6 people. And I'm going to do the feature with them. And just to show gratitude for my supporters that really fuck with me and shit. And I'm going to drop that EP before I drop my actual tape. But so the rest of the year, I'm going to just be trying to make sure this tape takes build some momentum for next year, really.
100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We at the end of the year. I feel like I already weather changing, man. This shit got me
No
chested as
doubt.
hell.
Hey, I just got over and be
Man.
straight up.
But I feel like I already checked off a lot of boxes for the year. So we still gonna finish strong. But I'm waiting on next year now. You know, but I'm about to use the rest of this year to build some momentum into next year. So I'm gonna use this tape, and I got some heavy hitters on there.
You good.
I got some heavy hitters on there. The tape gonna be fire. But you that and you know more performances, obviously. Turning these performances up, making them look more and more professional and lit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
If you was to have like any words to your followers and your supporters, you know, what message would you tell them? And to just maybe like some upcoming artists, you know, as you go through your journey and, you know, you've been able to carve, you know, your own lane, which is something that's hard to do in Detroit. You know what I mean? You know, our Detroit is critical than the mud.
For sure.
So for you to be able to get it out the mud and be on a lot of these artists' radar and then just excelling to the point where you actually starting to become you know, in those categories with, you know, with some of them upper echelon artists, what would you tell the people?
Consistency, bro. Fall in love with it, and then you know you got to be delusional with it. When you feel like everything is against you and it ain't working out for you, you can't stop. You gotta keep going and press harder. If you spent $1,000, spend another 1,000. If them 2,000 ain't do nothing for you, spend 2,000 more. You gotta keep going, keep pressing, and keep being consistent. And it don't have a date on it. It don't have a date on it. You don't lose until you stop. You know what I'm saying? It don't have a date on it. You can't really tell. You can't really listen to the outsiders. Keep doing what make you feel like you doing what you need to be doing. And just stay consistent with it, man. Keep pressing until it work out. That shit might take a day, might take 2 years.
Real
Who
talk.
knows?
But man, it definitely was an honor to have you, man. Definitely a privilege to have you. Of course, we got to have you on the platform again. You know what I mean? So whenever that time come, whether it's a project or just whatever, it may be a topic, and you might just want to be like, I'm gonna pull up on bro, hit me up, and we gonna make it happen, man. Big
Swap
Jungle.
Lives out right now. Swap Lives out. And then I'm dropping a tape called Dirty Crocs and Yops. It's coming soon. We got Pac-Man on there so far, Sada Baby, and some more special guests. Tap in.
For sure, man. Big Jungle, the Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture. Let's get it.